please? Yes, we're
Yep.
live. Okay.
All right.
Welcome, everyone. It's Wildman here, and with my pack today is Decker Ramirez, David B. Rock, and Uzumaki. Take it off, Decker.
Greetings and salutations, everyone.
Yo,
David.
I'm sorry. What I meant was, I mean, we can like shave this off, right?
No, it's
like
live.
we're
It's live.
okay.
I meant the final video.
If you can figure out how to do that, yeah.
It should be easy enough. What I meant was, what I meant was, you would start off saying like, "These are my guests." Like you say our names, and then we say something.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'll show you what I mean.
Again, didn't I? Well, like, okay, I don't know how we would be able to shave it off because it's going live right now. So it's like,
no. I'm not expecting us
to, when it's already up there.
It's something. It's something you can do in post. Just like shave the first few minutes.
I don't think we can do that because it's broadcasting on YouTube as we're doing this.
Okay, I'll try to show you afterwards.
Okay, that'll work.
So if you please, Victor, you can say like welcome Wild Pack, and like go down the list. Like with me, I have Decker Ramirez. I'll say a line, and then David, and so on. Whenever you're ready, Victor.
Yes, Dad. Welcome, Wild Pack. Well, you put me on the freaking spot. Thanks a lot.
Sorry.
Welcome, everyone. It's the Wildside podcast. With me today is my Wild Pack. And take it off, Decker Ramirez.
Greetings and salutations, everyone.
David B. Rockin.
Hello.
And Uzumaki.
What's hanging?
There we go. Yeah, that's the idea.
So today we're going to be talking about
how's it hanging?
We're going to be talking about The Black Cauldron, a 1985 Disney film that didn't hold punches. It's a breath of fresh air, actually. So
a lot of people, not when it first came out.
No,
we'll get to that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Decker, what did you do? Decker.
Oh, I'm still here.
Okay. Don't activate my anxiety like that, Nonkin. Why don't you tell us what the movie was about in a summary?
Okay. Let's see. The Black Cauldron is a 1985 animated fantasy film produced by Walt Disney Feature Animation in association with Silver Screen Partners and released by Walt Disney. It's the 25th Disney animated film, loosely based on the first 2 books of the Chronicles of Prydain, which is a series of 5 novels based on Welsh mythology. And those first 2 books that it's based on is the Book of Three and the Black Cauldron, the namesake of the film.
All right. So I guess we should talk about the characters, huh? First off, we should say this. Watching this movie, I got both Zelda and Lord of the Rings vibes from this, like major vibes. Like that point where like the hero is in the dungeon and like the princess saves him. What a reversal. I'm like, oh look, Princess Zelda, and she's even actually got Navi with her.
Yep. Or certain locations, it's like, oh look, it's Mount Doom.
Pretty much. That's exactly.
Yeah.
in like that scene with the pig seeing the future or whatever was very much reminiscent of the Lord of the Rings scene with Frodo and Gandalf. No. I'm thinking of yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm getting that mixed up. Yes, from Fellowship. So, where he's like telling him about the ring. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was thinking of like that one Queen of the Elves, how she has that pool that shows the future or possible futures.
Yes.
Like that's what I was reminded of.
Oh, that scene. I love that scene in Fellowship. Yeah, it was like that kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I love the creeper.
Mm-hmm.
The way he
Oh, no,
was like,
homie, the horn. No, homie, the horn. The Horn King's the best character.
no, the creeper. He's the
We'll
best.
get to that.
I mean, he was being tortured by his master, and then he decided to torture himself as soon as he failed. He decided, spoiler, that he's gonna choke himself. That was pretty funny.
He's like, isn't that enough, sire?
Like, I did it for you. You don't have to do it. And just so everyone knows, the villain is voiced by John Hurt, and if you don't know who that is, he's more commonly known as the War Doctor from Doctor Who.
Ooh.
And you've probably seen him in the movie because he's died in every single one.
Oh wow!
Like, I know he died in the original Alien movie because he was from the famous chest burster scene, but I didn't know he died in every. No, well, I haven't seen him in every movie.
Yes,
but
he
like,
did. In Watership Down, he played the main rabbit and he died. He died in another movie. He died in a couple, actually.
Well, he played in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and he survived. I know that's essentially that movie.
Did he? I thought he died.
I don't care. Yeah, he survived.
I thought he died. Oh,
not in that one. Keep in mind, Josh says I remember such bizarre, tiny details that it blows his mind and angers him at the same time when I correct him on something that he thinks he's absolutely right on, and he's like, he actually gets mad at me. And he's absolutely right.
Actually, guys, no. He survived in Harry Potter. He played the Wand Keeper. He survived that. He died in Hellboy. I know that. Yes. I'm trying to refresh. Did he die in V for Vendetta? Yes, he did. He died in V for Vendetta.
I don't think I've ever.
He died in that.
I didn't know.
Oh, you watch that, bro. That's a good movie.
Okay, so I guess we should get back to the characters. So there's like I said, there's very similar vibes to Zelda and Lord of the Rings in this movie, and so
Ellie,
Taryn, how do you say that?
She's my second.
How do you say that kid's name?
Taryn.
He's essentially the Link of this movie, but not cool. I loved his outfit.
He's the Disney princess, bro. In this movie, he's the Disney princess. He's so girlish.
He's him from the dungeon with Nancy.
I know. The princess is the second best character because she's so badass. She acts like the prince in shiny armor, not him.
And then, but
that's
okay,
cool.
So
I like that because the prince not dancing.
We have the would-be hero, the princess, the old man bard, the pig that sees the future, and we have Gurgi. I love this.
God!
Gurgi.
How do you love Gurgi, bro? That's like loving Jar Jar Binks.
This movie's He is
Misa,
both. This
love
movie's
you.
both Jar Jar Binks and Gollum. Like he is both
Jar.
characters,
Mm-hmm.
but fun, and he just
Yeah.
wants a friend.
Like I said, Tony, like in the movie,
That's all.
like he's still a little annoying, but like
I wouldn't be his
Like, compared to-
friend, not even if he paid me.
He looked like my dog with arms and legs.
And a mustache.
Yeah, my dogs have mustaches. Actually, I'm not kidding.
Looks like one of those, I don't know,
doesn't.
some
I-
type of dog.
It's a dog. I think he is.
I guess
supposed
a
to be
terrier or
corgi.
something.
Mhm.
I think
He's a lot
supposed
better
to
in
be
the
a
book.
corgi.
Like he even
Ow.
like he actually like wins a few fights in the book. The Gurgi, I mean the original Gurgi.
Cool.
But yeah, like if you watch the film on its own, yeah, like you may like dislike him, but he's not nearly as annoying as like say video reviews would make him.
Yes,
Because
Like,
like
this-
as
this-
annoying as he can be,
this-
it's few and far between overall.
with
Like he
video
somehow doesn't overstay his welcome.
Gorky, the annoying character, is pretty much the common joke.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough there to be true, but it's not really accurate.
The creeper was slightly more annoying. Maybe. Equally annoying.
The creeper.
Or it's like
Well,
if you don't
it's
like
like
this
this. The
character,
way you're describing him, is the way
As in the goblin.
about it's. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Nothing.
Well, it's like this. Okay, the way you're describing him, because I saw the review for it, but it's like describing Mineta Hero Academia. Like, people say they hate him, but when you actually watch the show, he's not really as bad as people say he is. I don't hate him.
Exactly.
I actually
Yeah,
like
me
him.
neither.
He sounds
Mhm.
he sounds annoying from the sound of it, but really he's really not that bad.
He sounded like Frank Welker in a way. I thought it was Frank Welker that played Gurgi, but it was actually another voice actor.
I guess the
It
question
wasn't it? It's Andy Serkis. It was Andy Serkis?
They modified a little.
No, it was Phil Fondacaro.
yes.
Oh,
no, no,
it
no.
sounded like Andy Serkis. It
Oh, wait,
sounded like
no, wait.
Gollum.
Not oh wait, I'm thinking of the creeper. My bad. Gurgi was played by let's see.
John Berner.
John Beener.
Biner.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that movie came out a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely sounded like
Yes, Grandpa, I'm here. Yes,
Frank
Grandpa, I'm
Welker.
here.
Uh-oh.
John Beener. Apparently he appeared in some cartoon called The Ant and the Aardvark.
Okay. I guess before we move on, like, okay, should we, like,
We didn't cover Princess Elonwy. We didn't cover the Bard.
okay.
Flam.
I didn't even know he had a name.
Yep. Like his full name is
Like,
Fluder Flam.
like the princess was like, this is how Princess Zelda should be. Taking charge and taking names.
Mm-hmm. Like she even had a speech where when like Taran was annoyed because like he felt like he was being talked down upon, like I was a hero. It's like, no, it was the sword that did everything, the magic sword. He's like, what does a girl know about swords? Like she's like, oh, like excuse me, well this girl, if it wasn't for this girl, you'd still be in the dungeon and you would never
Like,
found that sword in the first place.
Like, did not back down. It was awesome. Like she had authority and she knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Bard, there was like he kind of tried to be the peacemaker, but not being very successful at it.
Yeah, he was also kind of like it's not exact. Like he's like a mix between a parental figure and a mentor figure.
Mm-hmm.
because there's a scene where like he does not. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he's one of the most selfless characters. Like the only times he's selfish is like I don't want to die, but like say when like guards were coming in were like on their way, the first thing he said to the kid to Eloise and Taryn was run, like get out of here, like before you get hurt. Like he didn't worry about himself until like they were already out of earshot.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Mm-hmm. And like he takes and even like during the scene with like some of the scenes with the witches, like he shows some resolve.
Yeah, he actually like kind of stood up to him. Like, and okay, like that one fat witch that like looked like my ex-girlfriend. Like, enough about that. Like that was so mean. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But she was like for no reason attracted to that old man, and I'm like, it was like out of nowhere.
Like she must have been like without male companionship for like too long that anyone who had the Y chromosome,
the plumbing, the right plumbing, shall we say?
Yeah. I guess like any of them was like attractive.
Yeah.
But yeah, funny enough, in the book, like he's actually not near. Like he's not near. I don't know why. In the Disney version, they made him like an old man. In the book, he's like I guess his middle ages. Like he still has like he has blonde hair, maybe with some gray, but he's like not nearly as old as the Disney version.
That's interesting. I wonder why they did that. Oh, and now that I think about it, like I was rewatching it today just to kind of keep myself up to date a little bit, and my mind's still kind of anyway. I was watching it and like that ugly like gypsy dancer in the villain's lair for the soldiers.
Oh yeah.
It actually like I was rewatching that.
Oh, the woman who looked like the
underwear. Like it was fast, but it was clear as day underwear is showing, and I'm like, wow, Disney, y'all really didn't hold your punches back then. What happened?
No, like they showed
that scene in the video. They showed that scene in the video, and I saw it too. The glimpse of her on, I saw that too. In fact, she looks like the girl, heavier version of the girl from the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I knew you were gonna say that, like a fatter version of Esmeralda.
Yeah, Esmeralda. She did.
Like it's like Esmeralda if she let herself go.
Yeah,
and like out
in the sun for a while.
But it's like as far, even though they Disney didn't pull their punches, it was also one of those things where they did it in like a decent taste.
Yeah,
like it wasn't like overly sexual. Like you get enough to like oh, she's an exotic dancer, and like the guys at the bar, like you could tell they're drinking beer or mead or whatever they're doing, but it's not like they're like crazy. It's just the setting.
Exactly. That's what I liked about Disney. They like gave you just enough to realize that this is the kind of environment this is without going to extreme detail.
I like how one. Sorry, go ahead.
Like they gave they gave you enough information that like, yeah, this is the kind of environment, and you probably don't really want to be here because this kind of stuff can happen, without going to extreme detail of other stuff that can happen.
Oh yeah. Like it's not a big deal. We forgot to mention like in the summary that like one of the reasons this whole thing started is because like the Horned King is looking for the Black Cauldron, so he can like reanimate his undead army, and he doesn't know where it is, so he's looking for ways to find it, and somehow he finds out about Headwind the pig, who like when you put her in front of water and you say like a certain like a incantation, she like reveals visions.
Yes.
And basically, thanks to Headwind, they figured out, oh crap, she the Horned King knows about Hedwyn and her ability to find the cauldron.
Yes.
And that's how like they get wrapped up in this in the first place. And there's like a scene where like after Hedwyn is kidnapped, the bad guys try to get her to like show the visions, and like she even like resists for a while, but like when Talion like accidentally reveals himself, and he's trying to say like I can't tell you, I can't, like he's trying to tell them like I can't get her to he should have just said like I don't know how.
Yeah.
But either way, they would have threatened him. The Horn King would have said you, but then you have no use to me. Like that would have happened either way. So right before Henwin finally tells them, the poor pig is threatened by decapitation.
And the whole time I was like, just give me the bacon. I want my bacon already.
But
I
yeah,
could
like
tell that the pig was gonna play a big role in this movie.
And
Just when the guy
or it
when
looked
that
like,
old guy
a pig
said
putting
that
his
special
foot
pig.
in the
Say that one more time, Tony.
Sorry,
Tony,
that's my brother.
Can you say that one more time, Tony? Dang, he must I don't know. I guess his grandpa called him or something.
again. I'm going to have to reprogram him again.
Hey,
Like, okay, the interesting thing about the pig is out of all the characters in this movie, it is the most expressive with emotion in its face in the whole entire movie.
oh, you're right.
Like, it has the most like shock, the most whatever expressions in its face than any other character, and it's awesome.
I mean, it makes sense. Like she doesn't talk, so that's what better way to give emotions than to like show like the different facial features: happy, sad, scared.
And it was so happy to see to see its master again when they ran into it with the fairies. It was so happy.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Just just one step back, and then we'll get forward. Like right before Henwin is like threatened to have her head cut off, like right before they escape, of course, you actually see like those blocks that they put in your head and your neck before you gets chopped off. You actually see blood, like that was like they drew blood, like from a leftover execution.
I missed that.
Like
I saw the blood with the Black Cauldron at the climax of the movie, but I missed that. I miss you. I miss you.
It's like it's quick. Like if you have an eye for detail, you might spot it. But now that I told you, like you're definitely gonna see it if you watch the scene again with Hedwyn, like being put there. It's like, whoa, they actually drew that. Like it's like obviously it's just background.
Mm-hmm.
And oh yeah, this is like one of the few. This is one of the few times where like a kid actually had blood. Like when Hedwyn was first kidnapped by the wyverns, like those dragons.
Yes.
He actually had blood on his lip when he when the other dragon like knocked him on the ground, and they escaped.
Yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm. All right,
I was before we get into the other topics, we have to go over a little bit about the animation and the special effects in this movie because my gosh, it's amazing. The animation is all hand drawn and all beautiful, but like
very beautiful
parts visually with this movie, in my opinion, besides the gorgeous animation in and of itself, is that scene where he's overlooking the villain's castle in the distance. That whole screen behind him, it's green screen in a hand-drawn animated film, and it gives it this otherworldly fantasy look to it. And then the smoke is actual smoke, but tinted green to make it look evil. And
like from the cauldron itself.
Yes. and I don't know how they did that. You told me how they made the effect, but I don't know. But I have no idea how they applied that effect to the movie itself. But it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Tell us.
let me see. I gotta find. I'm gonna find it.
Well,
You
I
know,
remember
control
what,
F.
the effect, what you told the effect was. I just have no idea how they applied it, though.
Also, I still can't believe this was the first film from Disney that featured CGI animation, computer
Yeah,
graphics.
yeah, for like the bubbles, a boat, like the orb of light,
I think the
Navi.
castle too, maybe.
hmm
Wait,
And the
that was
cauldron
the-
itself,
The
apparently.
CGI
That
looks
was
way
the
better than the
awesome.
CGI we have now. Looks
Yeah, like some of its practical footage. So, so here's how they made like the smoke and steam in the cauldron. Animator Don Paul used live action footage of dry ice to create and use that mist to make it look like it was coming out of the cauldron.
That's
So
awesome.
like, so that would be
Really?
like, yep. So that was basically another example of like early green screen or blue screen. They basically like they put the dry ice in something that was like, I guess, cauldron shaped, and then they took that footage and chroma keyed it out, however they did it back then, and that's how it made it look like it was smoke or mist coming out of the cauldron itself.
Wow.
Yep.
And just so we get like our viewers get the idea, like a basic idea of what the Horn King looked like. Picture Black Skeletor with horns and actually scary,
Yep.
but without the body of a warrior as so much of a like warlock or something.
Yeah, and like the Horn King.
I was about to say, man, he looks so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Dude,
And like it's interesting how he may not have done like too much in the film it's overall, but like his influence is everywhere.
yeah,
And he definitely has presence.
like the
You
best.
like say if you're in
I
like
don't
if you
know.
see
He was
him,
my favorite character in the whole movie.
Like the way, like
Just awesome.
when we're first actually physically introduced to this guy, he's like it's in that party scene in the castle where his soldiers are all partying, having a good time, and then he enters and everyone's dead silent and afraid.
yeah, like all the sound goes out,
And
and like all the lanterns,
yeah,
the flames go out, and you see like a big swirling energy, like magic, as he like teleports in there.
yeah, like this dude. The cool thing is like, okay, there's the villain that's physically active and does stuff, and you're afraid of him because of what he can do, because physically, and then there's the one that doesn't need to do that because he just has that presence and power and influence, and that is totally the Horned King. He is the physical embodiment of power without having to be physically imposing.
Yep, and when he does show, it's like I mean, and when he does do something, it's an example of it only shows so much, but from the way he speaks, his mannerisms, you could tell he's not bluffing.
And like
When he
even
says
his
he's
own
going to do
people
something.
are afraid to just be in the same room as him.
Yep.
That's
poor-
when you know you have a good villain.
Yep.
Now, okay, I guess we should talk about the third bullet point. What did we like, and what we didn't like.
Now we did cover
I
some
think
things.
I think I'll go first.
We did
Go
cover
ahead.
I
So
guess-
there's going to be overlap. So
Yeah.
no surprise there.
Yeah, like the animation, the effects, we all liked. I think a big problem with this movie is the fact that it's based on the second book of the second book in a series, instead of, so there's a lot that's not said, and there's also in itself just a lot that's not really fleshed out.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony, you said you wanted to go first, or what was it?
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I was just going to say the biggest flaw I have with this movie, really, in terms of like, it's not really a aesthetic thing, but in terms of storytelling, I just think that there should have been a lot more character progression. I understand that the movie is only like an hour and 30 minutes, but I think one of the problems is that, like you said before, this is based off of a second book to a series that came out in like the 19 or 1800s or something like that. Obviously, the characters were not going to know very well because since this is the second book, technically, I think maybe if they adapted the first one and made this one, we would have had a better understanding. Like I said before, I thought Thornton was very tiny and not really engaging as a main character. But I have to know but the basic understanding, something that I have to understand, and he could too, is that he's not really fleshed out because the movie doesn't really give him time to flesh him out. I mean, he has a cool moment at the end of the movie, but that's about it. I just think more character progression would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of characters.
You might need to take a drink, Tony. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting some water.
I think where was I gonna go? I forgot.
What we liked and what we didn't like.
Yeah.
And we're talking about how the Black Cauldron, like Disney's version, was like compressed.
Yes.
Like not like like according to Wikipedia, it says it's book 1 and 2, but it's mostly book 2.
Yeah.
And even then, it's just like so compressed compared to like a typical novel.
I remember what I was going to say. Oddly enough, the main character is actually the weakest part of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, yeah, he kind of is.
Like, he has the most like that. The beginning of the movie when we're first introduced to him, I thought, oh wow, he's the male version of Belle from Beauty and the Beast. He wants something more out of life.
Yep.
But just the male version. The male version of.
He looks like a chick only with short hair. He even looks like a.
No, he doesn't. Really
he even looks like a chick only with short hair.
I can see why people make that comparison.
Because I think he does. Look at the facial expression on him. He looks like he has the facial complexity of a chick. No,
Princess Zelda in this was amazing. Shut your mouth.
Oh yeah, the princess was the best. Was honestly one of the best parts. She was awesome, bro.
Like, call me in 10 years, honey. No,
and she's not a damsel in distress.
No, I know, like I know, like when she like saved
like almost every.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
I'm just pointing out that she wasn't a damsel in distress like most Disney female princess characters.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say. It's funny, like when Elonwy saves when she rescues Taryn. Taryn. She's not even like looking for him. She just happens to stumble on her way out because she already escaped.
Yeah,
and like she was like, I think she was like looking.
So technically, she was sort of a damsel in distress, but not exactly.
She was a damsel in distress that got herself out of distress.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, like, kind of yes and no because she got herself out.
Yeah.
I mean, the hero gets caught too.
I was like,
kind of reminds me of the whole thing with Star Wars and Padme when she's captured with Anakin and them.
Mm-hmm. She is to Zelda what Maka from Soul Eater is to Sakura. Done right.
Oh, what was I gonna
Yeah,
say?
kind of.
I also like how
You would sort of put it that way.
this is like adding on to like the comparison where Terran is like the one of the weakest aspects, but it's also going back to like his inner. This is like This is like a blended topic.
Okay.
In some ways, it like, I mean, I'm not going to try to convince anyone otherwise, but in a way, the fact that he's like one of the weaker characters in terms of development, like, okay, it would have been better if it was like part of a series. It would because like, oh, like he's just a farm boy. Of course, he's not going to be like he's so naive to the world. Like in terms of like character development, like if they went further along, that would have been a good starting point.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like he only got fleshed out so much, and like as the movie goes on, you see bits and pieces of him like being more mature. But yeah, like there's like more room. There's like more room for more to be desired. But I also like I'll say one more thing, and then someone else can talk. I also liked how in that scene when Taryn and Elenwe have that little spat, we're reminded how even Princess Elenwe, despite like how mature she may be, she's still a kid. Like she gets her feelings hurt like anybody else, and Taryn's like he's showing that he still has a lot to learn, and like needs to be like every once in a while needs to be put in his place.
Like, and the interesting thing is he even gets the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets the Master Sword in this movie. He actually gets it. I was like, this is totally freaking Zelda right now. This is a Zelda movie.
When
I know, and funny enough,
actually,
like, they refer to it as a magic
Terran.
sword. I'll be quick. If funny enough, they mentioned how it's a magic sword. I think in the book it has a name, like it's supposed to be the King's Sword, something like that.
It had to have been explained in the books better, because
Yeah.
like otherwise it's like in the context of the movie it's like, okay,
Like he just found a magic sword.
yeah.
But anyway, I was gonna say, like, going on along with the Zelda comparisons, like in the the first Zelda game, like you get like how you get like more than one sword. Like there's like the wooden sword, the iron sword, I think, and the last one is actually called Magic Sword. So like that's another, whether they intended it or not, there's another Zelda comparison.
That's awesome.
And like it's the best weapon in the first game.
The thing is, this came out in
85.
85. I'm pretty sure the original Zelda came out in 95 or 94. Somewhere around there. It may be not 86. No. Oh, I'm sorry. I got my things mixed up. The original Zelda, if I'm not mistaken, either came out in 84, 85, or 86. This movie was in 85. So the whole thing, they were all made around the same time. So it's very interesting, the overlap. Did I do good?
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
Yes. Like, and the thing
I
is,
was just adding on that.
Continue. I have to find the dog. Where is he? Where'd he go?
Okay, I was just adding on the way you described Thornton. Now I think about it, he's kind, for me, he's like a less developed version of Luke from Star Wars. When you really think about it, he starts out as a farm kid who's like, because he's like 20, 21 or something. I forgot how old Luke is. He's like 20, 21. And Thornton is like what, like 18, 17 or something like that, and they're a bit naive about the world and stuff, kind of like how Luke was. He had to be put in his place a long time ago. But the fact, it is like that, like you said, Stephon. I think that this film was a trilogy, I think this might have actually worked well. Because when I was looking at the way how the story was going, you can kind of see a Star Wars comparison too when you really look deep. Because I can definitely see it.
Oh, as in like the hero's journey.
Yes, it had like a Star Wars feel to it when you really look at it. Or that's just the way how I looked at it.
No, I can see it. And not just because of the magic sword acting like a lightsaber. Like there's the
yeah, of course. Well, Star Wars was inspired by Japanese samurai films, so it's kind of like that too.
I know if you think about it, it's kind of like the first one where Taryn is Luke, Ellen Wee is Leia, and I mean it's not like a complete set. Like there's no Han Solo version. I mean there's no like Black Cauldron version of Han Solo. But like you even have like Ben Kenobi, in the form of Flam, the Bard.
Yeah, he kind of did remind me of old Ben in the movie. Kind of did have that feel, and of course, the Horn King definitely has a Darth Vader kind of feel to him.
Maybe even the Emperor.
Or, yeah, kind of like that. Or Tolkien, or it's kind of.
Oh, like Sauron. How like Sauron never like physically appeared, but his influence was everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. So it's weird. Black Cauldron is like, it feels to me like a mixture of Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Zelda. It sounds pretty rad, actually, now I think about it.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where if you like think about it critically, there's a lot to be desired in the film. Like it could have like had a lot of additions or like more time to grow. But as you're watching it, you as you watch the film itself, good and bad, it's just like you still enjoy the experience despite the flaws.
Yeah, I mean every story has flaws, but that doesn't really the flaws doesn't really make it bad.
No,
I mean you have to have pros and cons in every story.
What another example of how expansion, whether it be a trilogy of movies or even a TV series, there's like a lot of you can tell if you watch the movie, there's a lot of context about like other events that are going on. Like Victor brought this up yesterday,
right?
Like when our heroes meet the fairy folk, what the king, basically the king fairy basically asks, is the is the burning and killing still going on up there? Apparently there's like a war. It's even mentioned like by Taryn, like at the beginning of the film, saying like, what if the war was over and I never got to fight? So there's like events of the first book that's like alluded to, but we didn't like get to see it because of like time and place and like the production. But it would have been interesting to see like how it could have been like further expanded. And let's see, like say the
time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
One of my dogs wanted out, and everyone else.
Oh, by the way, Victor, the first.
What happened?
By the way, Victor, the first Zelda game came out in February of 1986.
Okay, I was right. Ish. I said that was one of the things.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings was published in 1954.
Oh, like about 30 plus years before.
I knew that part because The Hobbit came out next year. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyone else have to read The Hobbit in school?
I didn't have to, but I did.
Like I
Yeah,
remember,
not really.
we had to read books for class.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Like
Okay.
I remember the way I was introduced to like the world of Narnia was for like the some of the classes we would like have excerpts from like different books,
hmm
and one of them was like Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
I think my aunt had to read Dante's Inferno.
Huh.
Oh, really?
Not an
was-
easy read.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite Narnia. That was my favorite Narnia book. Actually, I remember as a kid, I really liked all the Narnia books. The only one I didn't like was the one with the kid in that stupid horse. I hated that one.
The Horse and His
Dante's
Boy.
Inferno is not about Narnia at all. What are you
Mhm.
talking?
Oh yeah, that one was stupid. That was so
Okay, where did we leave off? Like, because I had to step out. So where are we at now?
Like we're still in the what did work, what didn't work.
Okay.
Like
we were
some of the
talking
things that could have been improved upon.
Okay.
Like basically one of the things we talked about was like there could have been like more development if the Black Cauldron was part of a trilogy, like the animated version. There's like all
Yes.
kinds of like events that were alluded to, like a war. Like Taryn mentions it, the Fairy King mentions it,
Yes.
and there's even some things where, like, in a sense, it's not a big deal, but you can't help but wonder, like, how it's explained in the book. Like, for
Mhm.
example, when our heroes meet those three witches that have the Black Cauldron,
How'd they
you
get?
can't help but, yeah, how do they get it? What are they like? They're just like ordinary witch. From our perspective, they're just like ordinary witches that just happen to have it. It's not like they were. Like, were they given the cauldron to watch over it? Did they
Like-
find it? And like, how did they have knowledge about it that not everyone would know, like how to destroy, like how to stop its power.
So if you didn't know this was based on a book and just a movie in itself, it would have felt like they left a lot out.
Yeah, like too much
Because
was on the cutting board.
You would feel like it wasn't finished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would just feel like even if you didn't know about the book series, like you still feel like there's enough to be complete, but you can't help but notice like there's a lot of stuff that was like off on the cutting board
Yeah.
that probably should have stayed.
You know the funny thing is,
Yep.
the first time I ever watched a movie and I noticed that I ever came out of a theater thinking I felt like I watched a rough draft, not a finished movie.
Dang.
That was the 2011 prequel to John Carpenter's The Thing, also just called The Thing.
I know, like why couldn't they give it a different name?
I never had that
hated
reaction.
movie.
And the thing is,
Victor, I felt the same way. I felt
And
the
the
same
thing-
way when I watched it. I didn't like
the
it. Go
thing
ahead.
is- The thing
Go
is,
ahead.
I kind of grew up watching the original movie, like John Carpenter's version, as a small kid. Well, maybe not small kid, but a kid.
I did too.
So it's
It's
and
one
so
of my
I
favorite
watched
horror
the
films.
I watched
agree.
that thing
I
so
love
much
it.
that the VHS wore out. I had to get it on DVD, and it wore out. And then now I have it on Blu-ray. I've watched it that so much.
And you got it on
Okay.
Blu-ray. You have it on
Yeah.
Blu-ray. You told me that.
Okay, that will be a topic for another podcast. So, like, we're
Right.
trying to keep it more self-contained, but like that will be another podcast.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Oh hey, I think so far there's no issues.
No, like we get what you're
like
saying.
top-
It feels incomplete.
Mhm. I was talking about how like going to like the structure of the podcast.
Mhm.
like I think 4 and 5, like what didn't work, what could be changed, and all that stuff. I think they like bleed into each other, but it's like
Okay.
natural, so it's not like a big deal.
What would okay?
So it was like we don't. What I meant was like we don't have to announce like, oh, now we're going to part 4, we're going to part 5, whatever.
Right.
And there's like one more thing I want to hear your thoughts on, everyone. I get okay. It's kind of out of order, but it's not a big deal. How did you feel? What did you think of, like, say, the Black King? I mean, the Horned King's demise, like how he was
That's a good
defeated
one.
and all that.
That's a good question. I actually kind of liked it. Like he essentially got his thirst for power essentially destroyed him, but like
Mm-hmm.
kinda like because the whole reason he wants the Black Cauldron is to raise his army from the dead.
Yep.
That's essentially it. But like he this is actually the most physical he got in the whole movie, and it wasn't by much.
Mm-hmm.
but like you got the feeling he never really needed to get physical anyway. But
Yep.
he essentially like the Black Cauldron essentially ate him.
Yep. And like he looked like, even though he was like he's an undead creature,
Mhm.
and it's like it wasn't like too graphic. What it did show, like his basically his robes, his undead skin,
Mhm.
and like there's like a lot of detail that went into that.
Yeah. It's
And how
interesting.
even though he was undead, you could tell he's still being like pulled apart at the
The
seams.
The interesting thing is, it was the Black Cauldron was essentially like pulling everything towards it inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the hero, Talon, whatever his name is,
Yep.
was trying to hold on to a chain to keep himself from being pulled in.
Yep.
Well, the Horned King tries to like throw him in, but he like throws him to the steps that the cauldron is on, and he's just laying there. It looks like he's essentially just laying there, and he's closer to the cauldron, but than the Horned King by a fairly like what looked like
He's
6
at
feet.
he's like
I
at
mean, like
the
he was way
footstep.
closer. Yeah. So, but for whatever reason, it pulled the Horned King in way more than it did the kid, even though the kid was way closer. So it's very interesting how that happened.
There's some like real world explanations for that, but there's also like some stuff that you had to like speculate.
Hmm.
It makes sense that like Terran, because he was laying on the ground, he was low. He
Mhm.
didn't like have drag from the force of the cauldron, while
Okay.
the Horned King, he was standing up the whole time, and like there was more for the mist or the influence to grab onto, essentially.
That's true.
And I also think because he's like a source of evil, okay, like this is like we'll talk about like what Gurgi did in more detail. But
Mhm.
basically what happened to the Black Cauldron was it's revealed that the only way to stop its power is to, okay, let me back up. In the movie version, the cauldron can't be destroyed. Like, not the cauldron itself, but you can destroy you can like stop its influence. Like if someone climbs in of their own free will, that'll like stop the cauldron's power, but basically you would die. You'd have to like sacrifice yourself.
Mhm.
So like Gurgi, like he essentially is the one who does it. But when we get into more detail, we'll get into more detail later.
Mhm.
So anyway, when when Gurgi sacrifices himself, not only does it like stop the army from coming back to life, the cauldron like wants to draw, like before it goes, it's like drawing in like all the evil or anything else that's like too close.
Mhm.
So I think that one reason why the like this is speculation, but I feel like one of the reasons why like besides Terran being like on the ground, like he has like some steps in front of him, so he's not like feeling like drag from the forces. But because the Horn King was like upright the entire time, and he's got like a lot more clothes and surface area, like he was just like he was a easier target. It's kind of like how um it's like if you like compare a like what is it called? I'm trying to think of like a car or something. Okay, like say a Prius versus a van. Like the Prius is smaller, it's more smooth, and like Terran, he was like on the even though he may not have been like in the best position because he was on the ground with some steps next to him, he had like less drag, he had less surface area
That's
compared to
right, because the
the Horn
Cauldron was
King.
also on a higher
Oh
plane,
yeah, yeah,
surface level than he was.
exactly. And with the Horn King, he was standing up the whole time. Like he's more evil, so like I imagine he was just like more likely to be drawn to the cauldron. Um, but yeah, like he basically made him. But he's like the van getting drag if you're like if you're driving down the highway. He's just bigger, and and because of that, he's like it's like he has less wiggle room for
Mhm.
lack of a better term. Again, that's like speculation, but there is like as far like that speculation on like why the Horned King was killed, but it's also like a real world explanation as to why Terran may have as to like one of the reasons Terran survived. You know, besides him being the protagonist.
And Terran actually is stood up to that guy too. Like he actually got a mad face, like a face that like was a mixture of determination and anger, if that makes sense.
Oh
On
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and he just like drop kicked that the whole that the Horn King in his chest essentially.
Yeah, he was just
Yeah,
the Horned King
he wasn't
grabbed
afraid. I'll give Terrence that. He wasn't afraid. He didn't
Like he
hesitate. I do like
like
that
the whole
portion.
it just really felt like he's like, I'm not putting up with your crap anymore.
Mhm. I know, like people like will joke around saying like, "Oh, the Horn King was killed by a shove." Like all he did was like shove him away. But no, like if you see the movie itself, like the Horn King still grabbed him and tried to throw him towards the cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like one of the reasons why I feel like Charon wasn't like sucked in or drawn to the cauldron because like I don't like because the cauldron was drawing in evil stuff into it.
Yeah,
Like that's why like despite the Horn King being farther away, he was more susceptible.
and we're not really told what exactly the Black Cauldron does.
I know,
Like
like
in
you
terms of
get an
like
idea,
we get an
and like
idea, but like in terms of like we know exactly what the One Ring does and why everyone either wants it or wants to get rid of it. You're not
right?
really given that grounded basis with the Black Cauldron itself.
I know, like at the beginning of the movie, like there's a little narration about how I guess the cauldron was is like a representation or like it's the will of a warlord that was so powerful even the gods feared him. So basically, that's like his power was when he was defeated. His power was put into like the cauldron itself,
Gotcha.
and like that's like I guess that's like a physical representation of it, the evil of that warlord.
Okay.
Yeah, for the longest time, I thought like the Horn King always had it. I mean,
Yeah.
like he had it, but like he like before he came back, it was taken away from him. But no, it was it was interesting how when Henwin was showing the vision, the Horn King actually says the Black Cauldron, so it is real. I was like, huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, did anyone else get this vibe from the Horn King, feeling like this is Sauron? No, Sauron's younger brother.
We were just talking about that. We
Oh,
were
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about that when
Really?
you were gone. And Darth Vader too. We were talking about Star Wars comparison to this story when you were gone.
Yeah, because of like the hero's journey, how there's like a similar set of characters. Like the Horn King is like part the Emperor and part Darth Vader. Terran is Luke because of like Luke started off as a farm boy who didn't know too much about the world. Same with Terran. Elenwe is like a counterpart to Princess Leia. There's no Han Solo comparison,
No,
but
not really.
surprisingly,
Han Solo's the best character anyway.
yeah. But surprisingly, Black Cauldron has a Ben Kenobi figure in the form of Flam,
That's
and
the
possibly
old man at the
and the old
beginning that
man.
took care of the pig, right?
Yeah, the old man too.
Yes.
I was mostly referring to the old bard, but then I remembered. Oh wait, what about the old man that what's his name? Come on, what's his name? Dalbin. Yeah, that's it. Dalbin the Enchanter.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, there was like 2 Ben Kenobis. So let's see. Is there there any other thing we can do to like make the movie better?
How about some?
We covered like some of the characters
Expanding,
could have had
like-
more development.
Yes.
We covered how it would have benefited from being like a series of movies or even a TV show.
Yeah, that would have been cool if it had a TV show.
Like it really have a chance to spread.
Apparently, there
its
was a
wings.
video game.
Huh?
What?
Yeah, there was a video game.
Oh my gosh, I did not know this. That's awesome.
Oh,
I didn't know that. Freaking okay.
last. Sorry,
Okay,
like what? One last thing, before we either before we go to free discussion or some other topic.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to like take over the whole conversation. I just want to make sure I don't forget Gurgi's sacrifice.
Yes, yes. That was unexpected.
Rip Gurgi.
Like, I was like, you're gonna let that little furball steal the spotlight of this
Yes,
movie? Are you serious?
And it's
Yeah.
and it's fun. It's interesting how it was like structured. Like Gurgi just like first he was scared off, but then he eventually came back and like he was untying the ropes from the rest of the crew.
All I wanted was a friend.
Yep. And funny, like I'm almost surprised, but I kind of get it too, how willing Terran was to like leap in, like sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
And then Gurgi says, like, I don't want my friend to die. And like he basically says, like, Terran has many friends, like many people who would miss you. And like this is like kind of depressing, but like the way Gurgi said it, like he basically says, I'm gonna give my life up because less people will miss me.
It was very sad. But it's just like,
Okay, that kind of hurt. I'm not gonna lie. That is sad.
yeah. Like,
That's
like
heartbreaking.
Gurgi has no friends. And he just hops in, and I'm like, way to go, movie.
I know that's like
did not used to pull punches, and I missed that.
I know, like Gurgi's one of those characters. Like, yeah, he's gonna get on your nerves every now and again, but he's still like developed. Like he's he has like multiple sides to him. He's curious. He gets scared easy. He wants to make friends, and he's not like trying to be a bad guy. He's just a troublemaker. And like you even see, like he still like he overcame his fear toward the end. How like he made the sacrifice despite how scared he was.
Yeah.
or like because he snuck into the castle to save Taryn, like save the others when they were captured again. Because like he saw that they were captured, he was like in the distance, but he still like went back to get them out.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the movie, he's like, "I'm not going in there." He's like, "Oh no, my friend's gonna die because he went in there. I'll never see him again."
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what he said.
Yep.
And so he's terrified of this place, as he should be.
Yep.
And
like you don't just go. This is like going back, like referring to like joking around with what Flam was saying when he was like he was being tied up by the guard. He was like he's simply passing through, like he's just making excuses. I know, like what was he doing there?
yeah,
But anyway, it's like you don't go towards Mount Doom just to have a stroll. So like you can't help but wonder what was he doing there?
unless he didn't know where he was.
Like I could see him, he got probably got lost. And he's like he just like he wanted to get out of there as soon as possible, but
Yeah, because like I could be wrong, but like as much as that place looked like Mount Doom, from the way they had set it up, it feels like the Horn King that wasn't the Horn King's actual living place. He just essentially just moved in.
oh yeah, like those other soldiers.
That's my understanding. So that like there was no like it was never like, oh, this is the one place no one goes because of this. Like it felt like oh, this used to be just a normal place. So there was no reason for them to suspect otherwise, except for the dragons flying around.
Yeah, like I could see the like all those marauders and like barbarians, like they probably were there. Like even like we don't know like how soon it was before like the Horn King like employed them. Basically,
Yeah,
like they could have been there for like much longer.
Army from the dead, they booked it out of there.
Yep. And some of them actually like got killed when the skeletons came out. Like it's off screen, but like they got overtaken.
Yeah.
Oh, and one last thing about like Gurgi's sacrifice, like when when the power is stopped, and like the castle like is like destroyed as a result of the cauldron like losing its power.
Mm-hmm.
You actually see it like come back out of the marshes, and we see those witches again.
Yes.
And fun, like they basically we forgot to bring it up, but it's not like the big thing. The witches, they live for like bargains and trades, and so like they're about to take the cauldron back, but then like Flam says, "Oh wait!" Like he echoes what they said earlier. We don't just give stuff away; we bargain, and they're like trying to
bargain.
Mm-hmm. And they even like there was a chance where in order like they were gonna like even okay like the main witch wasn't happy about it, but there was a chance where Taryn could have gotten like the magic sword back.
Yes, they tempted him essentially.
Mm-hmm. Or like say, well, not necessarily a temptation. Oh, like earlier, like when he first gave it away, it's like, are you sure you want to give this up? You could be a great hero with this thing. I was like, oh sure, make it hard for the kid to give up the magic sword. But yeah, like in the end, he the witch that like is like ready to give back the sword. He says like, here for the Black Cauldron, a sword worthy of a hero. But then like Taryn says, like, I'm no hero. Gurgi was the hero, and they basically try to make the bargain. We'll give you the cauldron to bring back Gurgi. Bring Gurgi. We'll give you the cauldron to if you bring Gurgi back to life.
But
and like you notice the witches at first are like, that can't be done.
Yeah,
I don't think it was because they didn't think they could.
He totally should have kept that sword.
Mm-hmm.
He should have double crossed them or something somehow.
Yeah,
some way. And keep that sword.
I mean,
Haha, psych! I got my sword. And Gurgi back. Yeah.
Like,
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll finish my thought and then you can go, Victor.
I don't remember what I was going to say. I have a bad memory.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm almost done. Oh yeah, like at first you're wondering like if you first see the movie, when they want Gurgi to come back and the witch is saying like we can't do that, and then like Flam actually like calls them out. He's like, you have no real power. He's just like trying to like get under their skin. And I was like, but then they bring the body back. I mean, they bring Gurgi back, and like, what do they mean by that? It was like, oh, like if this wasn't a Disney movie, there was a high chance that Gurgi would have been brought back, but it would have just been the dead body.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bury him. Like
that's very much the kind of thing that you would
Oh
see.
yeah, like the way Dobby died in.
Oh yeah, and
like in Harry Potter when Dobby died. Oh,
Or how about
shit.
Pocahontas?
Okay. I understand that David does have some trivia for us, so we will dive into that, and then I would like to discuss some options for upcoming episodes, if that's cool with you guys.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Take it away, David.
So the narrator, his name's John Huston. John Huston. He's he's an American film director, screenwriter, actor, and visual artist. And apparently he played Gandalf in the Hobbit cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So there's a bunch of like even more connections to Lord of the Rings.
This is Disney wanting to be Lord of the Rings.
Mhm.
That's exactly what it is.
And let's see, one of the witches.
I love the
played by some
cartoon
actress.
version of Lord of the Rings. That was a good one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I didn't
love
pull
that.
punches.
I love that movie.
One of the actresses that played the witches. Their name is Billy Hayes,
Mm-hmm.
and let's hear that she's still alive.
Neat.
She is 88.
Billy Hayes. Lee. I mean,
She's
Billy
over
with an I and E.
Billy.
Like it sounds like one of the names of the Golden Girls.
Billy.
Ooh. She appeared in Johnny Bravo.
Like who was she? Who was she in Johnny Bravo?
Oh.
Doesn't really say.
Oh, like she probably
She
like played
appeared in The Nightmare Before Christmas, and The Fourth Strike.
She appeared in the Batman cartoon from Kids WB.
Oh wow.
The one from the 2000s.
I think she was one of the witches in that.
Oh no, that's what started the conversation. Like she was one of the witches, and David was giving trivia about what else she was in.
Yep.
Rugrats,
Transformers, Rescue Bots. Duckman.
To add to the trivia, I do know that when this first came out, it was not received well because it was considered too graphic, to the point they had to cut some stuff out.
Yep.
And if you see like some deleted scenes, then yeah, like some of that stuff, it makes sense to cut it out. But there's also like some things where like, dang, like why'd you feel the need to go like that far? Because it was like the Chronicles of Perdin. I think that's the original series. Like it was a series of children's books. But like with the movie, I don't have like I don't know where the links are. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sean. Well, same thing with Watership Down. That was technically a kid's book, but it's really not when you watch the movie.
Like the film. I know that's a whole other discussion. it's not like the whole the whole film. It's overall the film is pretty tame. It's just like some scenes they just don't pull punches.
Right.
But anyway,
Which
like
I'm fine with, but it's especially compared to how Disney is now. They tried to just be too safe, for lack of a better word.
mm-hmm. But yeah,
okay.
apparently, like with the deleted scenes, like there were scenes where like when they're escaping the castle, like like remember how like the weapons were being thrown at the gate, and like Ellen Wee is just like she's like really like just narrowly dodging them.
Mhm.
Like there was a scene where she got like her dress would have been cut, and like they wouldn't show too much, but like basically exposure. Like that was on the chopping block.
I was
There was
actually
like
about to say, where did it get cut at?
I don't know. They didn't say where, just like enough to show skin. But
That's
then
fine.
like they like decided against it. And of course, like there's like the scene where like the mist comes out and one of the bad guys is like actually melted. Yeah, I can see why they cut that out, even though I'm like morbidly curious.
That's freaking metal.
Mm-hmm.
This whole
And apparently
movie is a heavy metal album.
yeah. And like apparently there was even a cut scene where like one of the bad guys had his throat slit.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Like I'm sure it would
that's
just been like
cool.
a knife. I'm pretty sure they could do it without like
Disney
showing blood. Because
like Disney used to be really awesome.
mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just like it's one of those things where like like in some of the things they could have made it work, but other things like this was a kid's book. Why do you want to go that far? But oh well.
Because it's called pushing the envelope for a reason.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess we should talk about.
Mind if I say some more trivia?
Okay.
And then
sure.
Tony wanted to say something afterwards.
Yeah, I want to get to the point where we talk about possible options for future episodes.
Yeah, we're doing good on time.
I'm done. I just said Lord of the Rings was a kid's book, and look how that.
No, The Hobbit was a kid's book. The Lord of the Rings itself wasn't exclusively a kid's book.
Yeah, like kids could read it, but it wasn't necessarily a kid's book.
Well, hey, other kids' books are pretty gory. If you ever read the Harry Potter books, the movies are actually less gruesome than the books. In the books,
they get pretty gory. I don't know if I still do. I've never read a Harry Potter book.
If you do, man, it's actually shocking how gruesome some of those books actually are, because the gore is not the kind of stuff you would describe to a kid. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say.
For kids?
So go ahead, David.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, they were. They were targeted for kids.
So there's this one voice actor that played the Goblin, known as Creeper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he did
His name is Phil Fondacaro, and it says here that he's a dwarf, as in that he has dwarfism, like that one guy from Marvel and Game of Thrones, that guy.
Oh, I see. I see.
That guy.
What
was his name? Yeah. Like that actor from Game of Thrones.
Oh, hey, David.
Yeah.
You know how you said like you were guessing you were guessing that
oh yeah,
like either Gurgi was Frank Welker.
Yeah.
No, he was in it. He was Henwin the pig. Okay, that surprises me. Like he was some.
So wait, Henwin. So wait, that means that Henwin the pig is a male then, not a female.
No, I think
maybe
the pig itself was a female, but I didn't know that it made any noises.
Yep, he could play any animal.
Yeah,
Oh
he's a
my-
lot. He's been a lot.
Okay.
Like he's been animals for like a long time. Like he's in like we were talking about the Great Mouse Detective last time.
Yep.
He's that dog.
He was the dog, Toby.
Mhm. Toby, that's it. Toby.
Yes.
But yeah, like
And-
Frank Welker was like Henwin. He was like the cat dog.
Also the frog.
And the frogs. I'm not sure where the Gwithaints are. But anyway, like
Probably those pixie fairy guys, maybe?
maybe.
They were awesome. We didn't talk about them, but they were very, very pretty. They
Uh-huh.
were pretty.
They should get their own show.
They looked like Santa Claus.
I know. Did you say that, David? Like you'd like to watch a show that was just about them?
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
with
totally.
what's that one? Like that one Grouch,
Mhm.
Dolly,
I don't know
Yep.
that kid's name, but he was.
Yeah, Dolvin. Yeah.
Dolly, or Dory.
I could be wrong, but was the king played by Mark Hamill?
No, it was the same guy. Oh wait, hang on. Or do I think?
Because if
I think.
Nostalgia Critic lied,
Oh, let's see.
I'm looking at the voice cast. Mark Hamill's
I
not in
think
this.
Ordu is the
Okay.
one of the witches.
Mark
Yeah.
Hamill lied to me. Nostalgia Critic lied to me. You lied to me.
It's only a lie if that was the intention.
Well, anyways, Phil Fondacaro, he had a recurring role in Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV series. And let's see, John Biener, however you pronounce his name.
Yep.
He appeared in an episode of Get Smart, like some of the other voice actors that appeared in Great Mouse Detective.
Mm-hmm.
Also appeared in an episode of In the Heat of the Night.
Oh,
Also,
I know.
the Pink Panther show.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Love Boat for some characters.
Oh, hey, and like for the minor roles, like you see a few more familiar names, like Wayne Allwine, like Mickey Mouse, Jim Cummings, Peter Renaday. So yeah, it's like it's another example of like some of the legends playing like small roles here and there.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of like, come here, Zeus, get up here. Come here. Oh, come here. Get up, dog. Come here. There you go. I'm sorry. He wants to be part of the show, apparently. It's very interesting when you go into the voice cast and you find stuff out about that, because otherwise you wouldn't really think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, especially when you hear voices, we're like, I have heard him somewhere, or I have heard that voice somewhere, and then you're like, oh.
I know that's like I can't tell you how many characters I like instantly liked, or like I warmed up to right away, and it's because I heard their voice before, even if I didn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one voice actor named Arthur Mallet,
Mm-hmm.
and he played some king. Idileg. Let me check this out.
We didn't even
that
see
was the Fairy King.
Yeah, we only know
the
one
Fairy
king
King.
and Fairy King. Those are the only kings in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs better chill.
Let's see.
Okay, y'all
He
can
appeared in the Heat of the Night.
Hold on. Pause real quick.
Sure.
The dogs are wanting to go OUT again. So while y'all continue with the trivia, and then when I get back, we'll talk about we'll do the closing. Does that sound cool?
Sounds
Sure.
good.
Okay. I am sorry. Dogs.
Nah, it's okay. We're making good time, but it's time to wrap it up soon.
Guess I'll continue a little bit. So Arthur Mallet, he appeared in the movie In the Heat of the Night, not the TV series.
One more time, please.
Arthur Mallet, he appeared
Yep.
in the TV. He appeared in the movie version of In the Heat of the Night, the '60s movie.
Right.
Let's see. It says here he appeared in Anastasia,
Ooh,
Traveling
as
Man.
a major domo.
Also,
He was
The
in.
Secret of Nim 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
That's
the sequel.
Mm-hmm. And apparently that was his last film.
Yep.
He was even in like I assume you're looking at the Wikipedia page as well.
Wikipedia. Yep.
He was in Young Frankenstein as the village elder.
Oh wow. Oh, I heard this movie called Oh God, You Devil. I think that has like some comedy in it.
It's certainly it's a nice
Comedy film. George Burns is in it, along with some other people.
I certainly like the poster.
Yep. He also appeared in a fantasy comedy film called Heaven Can Wait.
That's an interesting title.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not ready to die yet. I still have unfinished business.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, going back to like trivia on like some of the actors.
Yeah.
Like Frank Welker, apparently he's like 76 now. Actually, he'll be 75 this year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still going.
Yep.
He's been doing let's see he was the original. I knew he was Scooby-Doo. I didn't know he was Scooby since the beginning.
Well,
oh,
not
no,
really
no.
Scooby from the beginning, no.
No. I was wrong. No. You're right. He was like he was Fred Jones since the beginning.
Fred Jones.
Since like 1969.
Yep.
And he's been Scooby-Doo since 2002. So like
guys, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to come back.
It's okay.
I came back.
Don't worry.
No. I'm back. My grand.
Oh, no problem. I was just gonna say, like, Victor had to let the dogs out one more time, and we're gonna wrap it up.
Dogs out. Who let the dogs out?
So yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up the stream soon.
Who let the dogs
Who?
out?
Hey, would you consider the Baja Men like a one-hit wonder, or
yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I would.
They were amazing.
It's kind of like the guys who sang, All Stars, the one who sang that one song from Shrek.
Smash Mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Smash Mouth. Yeah, I liked them actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh hey, remember this reference? Look, I'm not saying it was the best music, but kids really enjoyed it in the early 90s and early 2000s. That doesn't make it good. It makes it nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. The early 2000s, I was only a little kid, but I actually enjoyed the era. But nowadays, no, the music just sucks.
Yeah.
You watch your mouth, young man.
I mean, come on, call me Mr. Flintstone. I can be your bedrock. That's music.
Okay.
Don't worry, we were just
let's wrap this up with.
Watch, you're gonna grow up to.
Go ahead, finish up, Tony.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, I'll continue. So one of the voice actors named Nigel Hawthorne. He played Professor Porter in Tarzan.
Ooh.
So I'm guessing, let's see, was that Jane's dad? I think it was.
Yeah, that was Jane's
Yep.
dad.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll wrap this up with this. A few options for future episodes, not in any given order. How's this sound? And if y'all have options, let me know.
Got it.
We already
Okay.
talked about the
We already talked about Broly.
no, well, not on here. We talked
Oh,
about that.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, but on here we mentioned talking about John Carpenter's The Thing,
Mm-hmm.
and on before we
Okay.
broadcast, we talked about covering the 2 Marvel Spider-Man movies, and we
Yeah, with Tom Holland.
Yes, and we discussed talking about the original Broly movie and the original the
Super
Broly
Broly.
Super, and with possible number 2 Broly, Broly the Second Coming. We're not talking about Bio Broly. That movie sucks.
Funny enough,
Coming from
I
Broly,
actually like
That's
Bio.
the best movie ever.
he went from being a force. No.
The
Okay,
greatest
here's
movie of
here's
all
here's why
time.
Bio Broly sucks. In a nutshell, this is why it sucks. Broly went from
Why, Victor? That's my favorite version of the character.
that is what happened. He went from being God in the first movie to Swamp
That's the
Thing in
best.
the third. That's why it's
Bio Brawly basically became the sludge monster from Scooby Doo in
Mhm.
the Cyber Chase movie.
that should not even be a sentence.
Technically,
No,
that
that
wasn't
should have
Broly
won.
himself.
That should have won.
So
That should have won an Academy Award for Best Picture.
Yeah.
so we future topics for future episodes, and again, none of these are in any given order. We'll just do it as we decide to.
Mhm.
The first
Okay.
Broly movie, the Super Broly movie, and maybe the second Broly movie, the 2 Spider-Man Marvel movies with Tom Holland, and John Carpenter's The Thing. And I am also open to any movies that y'all would like to do too. And again, we one of the list. The next episode may be one of those movies. It also may be something that we come up with later. But those are movies that would be very good topics.
Let's see. Tony or Uzumaki has he has Joker as a suggestion.
Yes, we need to watch Joker. I do like. Okay. Long story short, I do. While we need to
that
do,
would be a great. That would be a great topic.
like, yes,
Mhm.
it is. I just have to prepare myself because it is the only movie I have ever watched that I had to step away from and come back to. It was a very rough sit for me personally, so I have to just prepare myself to watch it.
Yeah, it's not something you should do like
That's what's gonna make it. What's gonna make it episode is because it has a lot. Well, you don't have to.
it's definitely something to do when we have more experience
Yes,
with the podcast.
Like, here's the thing. There's a reason. Like, I've explained it to you guys personally. Like, there's a reason that movie is a rough sit. Not just a rough sit, but personally a rough sit. And it had to do that with stuff that happened in my personal life at that time when I saw it, as well as the topics in the movie itself hit very close to home.
Oh yeah, it's like you cannot be in a even if
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I was just gonna say one thing.
I would love for that to be a topic. It's just I need to prep myself mentally and emotionally before I do it.
Oh no, I understand because even if you don't have like any
too.
personal issues with the Joker film, it's a movie where you should not be in a bad mindset, whether you're in a bad mood or depressed or worse. You should not watch it if you're in a bad mindset, because it's either going to make you miserable or I don't know what else. Because it's just like it's just like
Well, actually, when we get the discussion on Joker, my views on the movie are interesting. So
because I know Uzumaki, you have a lot of insight and a lot to say about that movie in itself.
Decker?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh,
too many people are talking. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, you were about to say something. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
I kind of finished my thought. I'm not saying that, if you watch this movie, you're gonna like go on a killing spree or anything like that.
No, the SJW tried to say that and it didn't work.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, what I mean is because of like the subject matter, if you're in a bad mood, you're not gonna feel better afterwards. You're just gonna be like in a bigger funk, and if nothing else. And that's all I'm saying. Like, you need to be like in the proper mindset.
It's interesting because really, I'm just saying that my experience with it's interesting. When I saw the movie, I didn't really take it more line as a negative really kind of thing. I just took it somewhat more of its own particular sort of realistic kind of
depiction,
kind of if I might add. I mean, there are a lot of things in that movie that I can relate to, but it's weird. I'm the kind of person who's very open to that. Like, I love movies like that where it feels real and that I have a connection to, because for me, this is just from my own personal standards, is that I'm more willing to accept movies that feel real or movies that I to, especially when it comes to characters like Arthur, because I've been in his shoes too, and I can connect to it. I don't know. For me, it's odd. Like, I just don't really take it as somewhat of a negative sort of aspect. I take it as sort of a articulate kind of thing, and more of an open, okay, I'm willing to accept this. I mean, that's just how I view the movie.
We need to save this part when we actually talk about the Joker movie.
Yeah, we're not saying it's like a bad film. Like, it's a good film.
No. I know, I know Tony has a lot to say about this movie because it resonates with him, and I want that to be fresh for when we actually.
And you too.
We should probably end the stream right now.
Yeah, like the last topic I want to bring up before we actually end the stream is future projects.
Yes.
Things that are coming up on our own individual channels. Because I know earlier today I was trying to get some footage for a Let's Talk Zelda video, specifically Breath of the Wild, and you know what I'm talking about because you know how I feel about that game.
Yeah.
But so I'm working on that, and I know a while back you and me, Decker, were recording lines for a cameo in one of your videos.
Oh yeah, the I really would if I the first January and February, they're always the worst months for me content wise. Even if I wasn't even if I wasn't creatively kicked in the nads by 2019 and 2020. But anyway, this would have been perfect for Valentine's Day, but oh well. And it was meant to be posted sooner. There's basically I have a waifu list for fun. And
it's gonna be
I have a waifu.
like
have a-
I initiated that challenge months ago to you guys, and I made my video
Yeah,
2 days later, and like what took
slowly
y'all
backed
so long?
away in the whistles.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah, I
at least-
didn't really pick up the challenge. I
Vic,
still
Vic,
want to take up the challenge.
guys, it
though.
has to happen.
Yeah, go on.
Guys, it
Continue, Tony.
guys, it has to happen. The waifu tier list. It has to happen.
Well,
It has to happen. The waifu tier list has to happen.
I'm gonna make grade 2 eventually.
Mhm.
Huh?
Maybe
So-
we should do it for like a stream.
Uh,
Why
Yeah,
are you
that too. That would work too. Because I know
Oh
another
yeah,
stream
we need a tier.
that me and Decker want to do is the Sonic comic book stream.
mhm.
So like that would also work. So that could be that would actually be a good future topic. So
Mm.
okay.
So okay, like finishing like on my channel, the waifu list is almost done.
Okay.
I got a few more like gaming endeavors or let's plays in the works,
Okay.
and I'm actually gonna I hate when I announce stuff. I know it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, but like, oh, you announced you're gonna do something like that. Real life is like too bad. But anyway,
I guess look forward to game streams to have look forward for the next one to start a game called Control, which is it has very heavy SPC foundation vibes to it, and future
SPC.
ones to be the new Super Lucky thing. It's a platformer with a fox, and we all know that foxes are my favorite animal.
Mhm.
And then look forward to the Sinking City, which is a open world Call of Cthulhu HP Lovecraft kind of thing.
Ooh.
And I'm like, I might have to do this.
Mhm. All right, I got like one last
Okay.
thing. Well, two things. One idea for a potential stream topic.
Okay.
Into the Spider-Verse. Like that
Yes.
definitely should be something in the works.
Yes.
And one thing I'm gonna announce, like you guys know, I'm trying to get
Oh yeah.
get a hand in audiobooks.
Mhm.
I need to start working towards like making videos where I do voice demos, whether for fun or professionally.
Okay. Because you've been learning from Chuck Uber.
Chuck Huber.
Huber.
Yep.
Uber. Have I been saying his name
Uber.
wrong this whole time?
Hey, don't worry, you're far from the first one.
Stein, please don't dissect me.
All right. So okay, those are like my projects on my end. How about you, David or Uzumaki or Tony?
Well, I guess I'm gonna try and make some more top 10 videos.
Go ahead, David. You go first.
Okay. I'm gonna make some top 10 videos and think about making a T-shirt online and sell it.
Ooh,
I
nice.
have some ideas. I have this one picture of some clouds that I'm thinking about sticking on like a T-shirt.
Cool.
Also, ketchup in the shape of a heart that I took a picture that I still have
Oh,
on
that'd be
top
fun.
of a burger. It can
That's
say,
funny.
I love burgers.
Mhm.
Okay, go on, Tony.
Okay, as for mine, lately, for anyone who's been caught up with my channel or anything, for the last like months or so, for the last like 5 months, I've only been doing live streams for the latest attack or live reactions to the latest Attack on Titan not
Chapters?
episodes of chapters. I've been doing that for the last like 6 months now, and I kind of want to do something different. This week I did make a video where I did a review on a anime series called Assassination Classroom, which I just finished just 2 days ago. I'll probably have it downloaded soon. I know I'm comes to downloading stuff, but there's other things that I would like to do too. Like I would like to do streams like this. It may be in the later future, and I would like to do more in-depth movie reviews and possibly character discussions. Like it would be interesting if I did a character analysis on Arthur Fleck. I think that would be pretty interesting.
Oh, I like this.
That would actually be pretty cool. Okay. I have an idea how you can do that. Since we all have StreamYard accounts, you can use StreamYard and invite us, and this will be streamed to your channel.
Oh, I could do that too, actually. That would be sick.
That's what you need
if we
to do
did like
for
a
your channel,
full-on
is doing what
analysis.
we have right here, but instead of my channel, it's yours.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can
be
walk you
sick,
through that
honestly.
whenever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, thankfully StreamYard
that would
really
honestly that would give me, imagine the views I could get on that.
I know. Okay. I want to thank you all who joined in on this, and to my guests and to our viewers. And remember, if you don't walk on the wild side, at least walk on the rambunctious side. Thank you all for joining us.
Oh yeah.
Thank you all, everybody, and have a good night.